The world is more multicultural than ever, and ageing is one of the greatest social and economic challenges of the 21st century. It will affect all EU countries and most policy areas. By 2025, more than 20% of Europeans will be 65 or over, with a particular rapid increase in the numbers of people over 80. So, how are we handling this level of multiculturality in our care homes? Research demonstrates that we need more nurses and frontline care staff with the right skills to avoid misunderstandings, whilst managing the level of diversity predicted over the next 10 years. The HMC consortium, consisting of partners from the United Kingdom, Denmark, Italy and Germany, came together to devise a series of training designed to tackle this problem. Whilst in Bristol, consortium members took part in a radio programme to inform listeners about the project.
Celebrating diversity, this is Bristol's BCFM 93.2.
Beginning. And Florian, for you, how do you see this project and the benefits in your country back home?
We have pretty much the same problems than they have in Denmark. Maybe it's a little... we've got more problems. I mean, we have a lack of care professionals and it's getting worse. We already have a lot of people working in care with migration background, and of course there are problems occurring with that, like misunderstanding. We call them cultural misunderstandings.
Of course, yeah.
Like the way you would, like what's the value of work? How do what do I consider valuable? That's different from considering which culture you're from. But then also, I mean, like just this morning I read German newspaper, we have to have 320,000 beds more up to 2030. And so we are in a desperate need of care professionals. So this project is pretty good for us to develop more new ways to teach teams how to get into, understand each other.
Sure. We were talking on the breakfast show this morning, funnily enough, about how in our different European countries we see each other. And for me, growing up in England, of course, you'll see a German person, you'll see the war films and whatever. So in England, there's this image of very organised, very strict, sometimes quite ruthless. And we were talking about the comparison about how Merkel, your Chancellor, the German Chancellor, has had a standing ovation, applause about bringing in nearly 1 million refugees from conflicts and how caring Germany is as a country. Yet Britain kind of paints that picture of being caring, but I think it's taken probably 400 and you've taken nearly 1 million. So it's that balancing about a lack of understanding sometimes of cultures. And the same with Italy. I guess, Danielle, we have in England there's often this romanticized kind of, Italians are like this, but of course you guys will have your own perception of what we're like in England or Germany too.
Yes, but the globalization is a part of our life. So we are mixed all together, and this type of project put in the right way to understanding better each other. And this is the best. When you ask about what could be the future in the 10-15 years in our job, it could be mix of many cultures. And what we are going to do is just only to try to put low the misunderstanding and try to give better quality of care.
Absolutely. Now the UK partners here in the UK are Phoenix Social Enterprise and St Monica's Trust, and that's where Joanna is from. Joanna, how important do you see this? Because St Monica's kind of traditionally, and I'm sure you won't mind me saying this, years back, I remember thinking, is that Downton Abbey when I go and look past the place? And it was a very, very kind of Christian or Anglican-based care scenario that was predominantly white and Christian, and that's changed and has to change, I guess, hasn't it?
Absolutely, and we need to build on what we're already doing. Back in sort of the late 70s, 80s, we realised actually, we need to change what we're doing. Now we accept people from all faiths, or no faith at all actually, can come to us, celebrate what we're doing, build on what we're doing, and also it's about us learning from other cultures actually, in other European countries, and seeing what can we learn from them to improve what we're doing at St Monica Trust.
Okay. So Franz, what are the next stages? I mean, I've been involved and I've seen in action some of the training taking place with staff, for example, and you're absolutely right. There are two levels of the staffing. One is about staffing working with each other, because we know both in health service and in care, staff will be from lots of different ethnic backgrounds, so they need to understand each other and their working practices. And then to follow that on, the staff then need to understand the client's needs as well. So it's not an easy thing to do, is it?
No, that's right. That's the first thing, and now we have had the first training course in all 4 countries, and we are running through 3 iterations. And at this meeting we have discussed how we can make more experiments for the next round of training courses. And one of the things that we experienced is that it is difficult to spread the knowledge within the care organizations. So, and the problem is that care organizations is not having a lot of money, so they need to have a very small amount of care staff going to the courses, and then spread it in their own organization afterwards.
And that's always going to be difficult, because our population certainly across Western Europe, we're getting older, we're living longer, which means that we need to be looked after. And you're absolutely right. Often, if it's not the government, it's the private sector that will be looking after our elders. And you're right, sometimes there isn't the money that maybe there used to be in terms of looking. So there's that element. I was going to ask you, Florian, about, at the moment in this country, in the UK, there's this big thing: are we in or are we out of the EU? And I guess countries can become quite nationalistic, all of our countries. How do you step through that when you're doing a project like this? Because it's really important that, of course, as EU partners, you work together.
When you apply for such a project, or you're getting messages, you want to work with us. So you have made the decision before, because when you decide to work in European projects on an international level, then you're already open to new things, and so it is no big deal. So when we got the message that there will be a project about this, because we're already into intercultural work at our school in Germany, so this was just no big deal. We just said, we're going to step into it, and then it's pretty inspiring to work with European partners, and just as we experienced yesterday, to look at the way the different countries did their trainings. And so we already have some new points, so we will change for the next step.
Okay. And Danielle, for you, what have you noticed differences that you could either learn from or that you could teach some of the other countries in terms of how you approach training in Italy?
Sure. There are lots of difference. You know that I am director of nursing home, so actually I really be involved on it, and I know that on this time of the age there is nothing to discover. So you just only need to go look around where you can find good practice, good knowledge, and put in your organization. This is what the European community do with the EU project. So I exchange practice. Yesterday we visited Santa Monica Trust, and it was amazing to me see people do my same job in another
in
side.
A different way.
Is in different way, but with the same results. Right. So and that make me thinking what I can adjust on my organization. That's it's lovely, really.
And Joanna, we haven't got loads of time, and finally, how is it for you to kind of show these people around and think, wow, they're going to be looking at what we do and examining it and judging it? Do you feel a little bit nervous, or do you feel quite proud in terms of what you're doing at St. Monica's?
I feel immensely proud. We don't need to put on an act or put on a show when people arrive. It's what we do every day. We're always being inspected by the CQC and various other regulators. So we need to make sure every day is the same, we're always at the top of our game, and we're very proud to welcome Europe and show them what we're doing at St. Monica Trust.
Brilliant. Well, Franz, for you?
Yeah, it's not a competition. I must say, we are trying here with open minds to cooperate to make it better. So we are not competing against each other. We know we have different kinds of frameworks, different kind of rules, different kind of cultures and backgrounds. So we just try to learn from each other's experiences.
Brilliant.
And I also have to mention
Yes,
that this is a Erasmus Plus program from EU that has founded our project here.
Okay. And guys, finally, we've got to stop because we've got the news coming up. But if I had to ask you a question, people are making decisions about whether we should stay together as a European Union. Are we stronger together, or should people just, like England, for example, leave? What do you think?
I think that we might be more together, because this could be the best opportunity to join each other, to learn from each other, and to understanding each other. And this is the purpose of this type of project.
Daniel, thank you. And Joanne, for you?
I think it's an opportunity to keep on growing, we're better together.
Okay. And Florian?
I agree. Learning from each other and having a good time from each other is just what we should do in the future.
Brilliant. And for you, friends, together, separate? What do you think?
Well, I would say we just have to learn from each other. That's really important. In a union or not, it's really important that we have this collaboration.
Brilliant. Guys, thank you ever so much. Sorry we haven't had more time, but we will put links on Twitter and on our Facebook page all about the project, and thank you ever so much. Can we have a round of applause, please, for our guys all across Europe, Daniel, Joanna, Florian, Franz, and of course Babs as well. This is the One Love Breakfast. It's 9:30. News is coming up very soon. We're going to take some music.